Hiya, I'm Naomi. I'm just going to talk to you about how I've ended up being a performing arts lecturer and my past leading me up to that, and possibly even touching on my future. From a really early age, I've been performing, a natural performer, singing and dancing, annoying my siblings. And then when it got to about 9 or so, it was a case of let's get her off to some dance and drama lessons and singing. And from the age of about 9, I started doing shows at the local theatre and worked with some carry-on stars, people like Bernard Bresslaw and Windsor Davis, and I think that's where I've got my love for the carry-on films. And from there, just realised it kind of confirmed to me that that's what I wanted to do. So from a really early age, you asked me what I wanted to do, and it was an actress. So that set me up for the rest of my life of what I was going to do and what my directions were.
So what was the next big step in your acting career?
I was offered a stage school, a place, at the age of 9, but my parents didn't want me to go off to London then. So we decided to wait till I was 18 and go off to drama school then, be a bit more worldly, a bit more grown up. And so yeah, I just did my A-levels, you know, theatre studies and dance, so something that was still career driven down the right path for me. And then 18 went off to, well actually I had a little 6-month spot working for Haven Holidays as a little entertainment. So lots of singing in the clubs and doing the shows in the clubhouses, so that was the little 6 months in Scarborough. And then off to the big smoke, off to Mountview Theatre School.
And what was it like arriving at drama school for the first time?
It was really daunting because I thought I was confident, but when you get to drama school you see a lot of even more confident people, or just self-assured, not necessarily confident but more self-assured. And it was just, I thought I would go there, you know, be able to hold my own, but it was a couple of steps back, and then I had to, once you then got to know those people, that it's, I suppose that's where it sets you up for the competitiveness of the industry. Already you're looking around the room and, you know, the people who you're training with are also your competitors, you know, for that job. So it sets you up straight away. And it was lovely because in the third year it was all performance. So our third year was show after show after show. And we got to work with outside directors, some who I'm still friends with now. And they also got me work in the industry afterwards. So it was the third year was brilliant. It was lovely learning all the techniques and so on, but to actually then get and start doing it was the bit that you work towards.
And what was it like going from that amazing environment out into professional theatre?
Well, the transition for me, thankfully, I was really lucky. I was one of the lucky ones that went from drama school, and within 2 weeks I was in my first professional job in the musical Camelot, with Jason Donovan and Samantha Janus and Paul Nicholls. So I didn't really experience like, oh, I'm in the big wide world and I need to go to auditions. So that came after I had a run of really good, just going in one job after the other. So that came later, when it sort of like, it went a little bit quiet and it was like, okay, when's my next job going to come?
And then you moved away from London.
Well, after that, really, after a couple of years working in the industry and, you know, going for auditions, doing shows, doing other things as well, my personal life really took over, and I got to the stage where, you know, got married and started thinking about, you know, a family and things like that. So that I came away from London, I came away from the theatre. Something I possibly regret, but it's one of those things that you do in life. And decided that in order, I thought, to have a good marriage, that I needed to perhaps sort of like diversify and not be in the theatre and be full out in shows, 8 shows a week.
You went on to have a successful career in recording. You had your 2 lovely kids, Evie and Max. What about your acting career?
Just realised that I'm just going to take a career break, and when the kids are older I can go and play all the mum roles or the nan roles, or, you know, and just realise that, you know, I can't juggle everything, just have a little bit of a break. and just focus on the children and come back to it later in life. Because again, that's the great thing about performing. You're never too old. It's not like dancing or being a model. You can go back at any age. They always need some older people.
And now you're also a lecturer in performing arts. Tell me how that came about.
Because whenever I went into the theatre beforehand, I had such a yearning and such an upset within me when I was sat in the stalls looking at the stage, just the smell of the theatre, and it was like, it just didn't seem right being that side of the curtain. But as soon as I started working on the performing arts course, it kind of fulfilled something. I was still using my skills, and even though I wasn't standing there, I had helped them achieve what they had, and I'd imparted some sort of experience or knowledge. So I felt I was still part of the process. So I started to recognise that was kind of fulfilling that yearning. So it automatically just led to, well, perhaps this is what I should do for the time being. So I'm now in my second year of being a fully fledged and very grown-up lecturer. And it's lovely because as soon as I've graduated and done my teacher training, they've allowed me to take more responsibility in the sense of last year I directed my first student musical, and I'm just in the process at the moment of doing a Christmas Carol. So having the opportunity then within my job to direct and really get stuck into the performance with the second years is just really magic for me. It's just fulfilling me even more, so I'm really enjoying that side of it.
And can you see yourself, the young Naomi, there amongst your students now?
I do. I really enjoy myself, but I think that plays a big role in my teaching, because I think they see the passion and the enthusiasm, and I think that makes all the difference. They kind of listen to me in that way because they realise that I'm not just reading it from a textbook, I've experienced it, but also that I've got this great love for it, and I want to nurture them to have the same experience and the same love for it. So I think that works to my advantage, that I get stuck in there. If we're doing a workshop, it's not me telling them what to do. I'll come alongside them and I will join in as well, very much join in. I have to remind myself sometimes to step out and observe, because I'm just transported back to my training. So yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely working with the students. They make the job, definitely. I really want to encourage them and motivate them that go for your dreams. They're at the world's their oyster. Go for it. Because you can only look back and regret things that you didn't do, not what you've done. You learn from those. So no, I'm very much, go out there, do it, experience it. And if you ever only do one job, that will be the best memory of your life. So.